how you can leverage AI to use for your law practice. There's a lot of ethical considerations you have to worry about using ChatGPT or any LLM. I want to talk about that a little bit. But this course is for beginners. So if you are an advanced LLM user, AI user, like Mike, the guy that wrote the book on it, wrote the article on it, this may be a little dumbed down for you, because I'm going to speak to you from a kind of a dumbed down perspective. And I mean, as an attorney, I don't have time to go learn new software. I don't have time to get trained. I don't have time to go spend and do all this tech stuff. I love the tech stuff, but I don't have time. So from that perspective, I want to do this for the rest of us, because most people here, I think, look like a lot of small firm owners or people with small firms, a couple big firms, but I want to talk about how we can leverage AI to supercharge your law practice. So please save all questions for the end. I want to get through everything because I may answer your question. And of course it doesn't work. Technology, I'm talking about technology, and technology fails me.
There it is.
All right, so on today's agenda, we're going to go through, just talk about AI in general. We're going to understand. You got to work it? Okay. We're going to talk about just what is AI, and it's going to be really basic. I'm not going to use any advanced language. I'm not going to talk about any scientific. You know, we got a couple scientific people in here, but nothing scientific. We'll talk about some of the essential ethical considerations. And then this is really, I want to focus on practical applications, on how to use it. Everyone has their way of using this, and different techniques of prompting and using these tools. But I'm going to show you some of the ones that I've learned. I've taken a course. They have a decent course with UC Berkeley. It's AI for the legal profession. There's a certificate for that. I've enrolled in one with MIT. Cornell has one. There's a lot of good programs out there, and there's a couple specifically for legal professionals. I'm going to talk about some of the best practices, and this is all from personal experience. And then I'm going to talk about some of the common pitfalls and just kind of where this AI thing is going. So start off with, what is AI? And actually, now with this presentation, a lot can go wrong today because I'm going to do live prompting too, so a lot can go wrong. So we make sure technology is with us. Hey, Chad. Hey, Chad. Like that. Hey, Chad. Okay. The voice feature of ChatGPT is not working right now. What happens is, I was going to have it explain what AI is. Basically, AI just refers to any kind of machine or any kind of software that mimics human intelligence. Apple just did this little research paper where they said that okay, so I'm going there. It said that artificial intelligence does not really reason. It's a predictive model, like LLM. Go ahead.
Get the volume down, better hear your story.
Oh, I don't know how to do that. Hello, I'll be down here. Like I was saying, ChatGPT or any of the LLMs don't really reason. There's no reasoning involved. It just mimics, it predicts language. Like if you say, Mary had and you put it inside of an LLM, it's going to predict what comes next. It'll say, a little lamb. So it's just predicting what comes next. There's some more advanced models that are starting to show signs of legal reasoning. I think that's why Apple Intelligence took a little while to launch, and it's still not there yet. I played with the beta version, it's still not there yet. But they are going to be there. They're going to be there pretty soon. So you're going to hear LLMs a lot, large language models. All it is all this material is fed into these computer models. And all this information, like books, science, research papers, all this information, and I'm sure you all heard about all the lawsuits that were happening when people say, hey, one of the writers or authors said, hey, you stole my work to train your models. So that's where that comes from. You feed all this information into the LLM, and it helps predict the outcomes, all right? All right, so what can AI actually do, like for attorneys? You absolutely can draft documents, whether it's a pleading, whether it's a motion, a memo, you can draft documents. Contracts, contract term provisions, you can absolutely draft it in seconds. Analyze and review documents. That's probably one of the most important legal applications right now. It will, and I'll show you later, but it will revolutionize your law practice. You need large amounts of information synthesized or analyzed and summarized. You need transcripts summarized. You don't have to hire that law associate anymore, that intern anymore. You actually can do it within one of the LLMs. Research. 2 years ago when it came out, ChatGPT was launched in October of 2022. Since that time, it has advanced in ways you couldn't imagine. The research back then was very poor, it was very limited, but now it has expanded and it's exploded. How many of you are familiar, how many of you actually use ChatGPT? How many of you have used it in the last couple days? Since it's been integrated with the web browser and the internet now. Okay.
Is it so the issue of the hallucinations?
Hallucinations are not going to go anywhere. But basically, a hallucination is one of, I'll talk about that in 1 second because it got an attorney in a lot of trouble. You can use it to create and respond to correspondences. You can use it for client communications. And you can just use it for just basic legal analysis. If you need it. It helped me draft 3 more causes of action on a complaint that I didn't even think of by putting in a set of facts and information parameters, and it gave me the cause of action that I added to a complaint. So it was very helpful for just doing legal analysis of my facts. What it can't do, the number one thing that AI cannot do, it cannot replace attorney judgment. That's why attorneys are not going anywhere. It's a tool, it may eliminate some jobs for some paralegals, it may eliminate some jobs for some staff members, but it's never going to replace attorney judgment. And you actually have an ethical duty for your judgment. It can never provide direct legal advice, although they are playing with testing and allowing AI to represent clients. There is some of that happening, but I don't think it's going to be at the place where it's going to provide direct legal advice. It can't guarantee accuracy. You got to check, recheck. There's checks and balances with these tools. I put up there access most current case law. That's actually not true. It actually can now. It's amazing what it could do a couple of months ago. I mean, compared to today with 2 months ago, it's just leaps and bounds. And also, you can't create legal binding documents without review. You have to review your documents. And another thing, you have to have oversight. You can't do legal tasks without oversight. Just like you hire that new associate, you have that young associate with that shiny degree and no experience that comes in, you have to watch them and check their work. You have to do the same with ChatGPT. I heard an attorney say that you have to treat it like it's a brand new associate that has familiar with the law, but how would you treat them if they walk through your doors, if you hired them to work, and put your name on that document? That's pleading that you have to sign your name to. Would you check, and recheck? Okay, so far as the ethical considerations, everyone's familiar with that New York case, and I've included a link. I gave them the link. I don't know how they're giving the materials, but I got a link of a bunch of resources. But essentially in New York, a couple lawyers had this case where they used ChatGPT to actually draft their pleadings and their responses and their motions, and the hallucinations occurred. What a hallucination is, essentially, it made up a case. It followed a certain chain, remember it's a predictive model, it followed a certain chain, and for some reason, it came up with this case, or actually several cases. It made up cases, but the cases sounded really good. It sounded like, oh, that's real. And what happened was, the attorney didn't verify, check their sources. So they actually filed those papers. Fast forward, the judge finds out about it, and the judge is livid. They got huge sanctions. Part of their sanctions, in addition to all the money they had to pay, part of the sanctions was, one of the papers actually cited a case that had one of the other judges, had mentioned another judge's name. It was like a real judge mentioned his name. They made them write an apology letter to that judge for using their name in that. It's a very interesting case if you want to take a look at it is in some of the materials. But you have to be careful when you're using these tools. You can't just rely on it. You hear these horror stories about these LLMs. That was in the early days. That was last year. That case was last year.
Really good.
Now they have integrated these things with current case law. Now they have integrated, before ChatGPT couldn't search the internet, and it was only limited. It was limited up to a certain period of time. I think it was like September of 2021. So anything that occurred after that, it wasn't aware of. So now, with the new feature, I'm excited about playing with it. I haven't played with it a whole lot lately because it just came out. But it does web search. You're trying to compete with Google now. ChatGPT is replacing Google. The option that you have when you log on now, it'll say, would you like to make this your default browser? So it's crazy. So the first ethical considerations that attorneys have, there's actually no real, California doesn't have any specific rules on AI. There's the ADA does have an opinion, but there's nothing really concrete right now. So when you're talking about AI, you have to look at four things. You have to look at the ADA Model Rule 1.1, and that's on competence. That mandates that lawyers must provide competent representation to clients, requiring the knowledge, skill, thoroughness, and preparation necessary for the matter.
That's very similar to our own
Yes,
rule of professional conduct. That was word for word.
it is, and we adopted most of the ADA stuff over. Really, and also part of that requirement is that it also states in that rule that lawyers must stay informed about relevant technology, including AI, to maintain competency in practice. So you need to be up on relevant technology. When I started out with my venture to become an attorney, I started off as a teenager, and I worked on an old school law firm. I'm a lot older than I was. It was a big deal to have like a fax machine in the law firm. And I remember when computers came in, and they were like, that was a joke. They didn't want it to practice. It was like, get that out of here. And I just gotta remember how some of the older attorneys accepted that. That's what's happening right now with AI. And I'm surprised that, I'm happy to see so many people are here today to hear a little bit about what AI actually is right now, what can it offer. So, the technology rule, you have to be versed in technology. You have to understand the latest technology. So it's a requirement under the Rule 1.1. Also Rule 1.6 about confidential information. Now this is what we're talking about with these large language models, with ChatGPT. I'm just going to speak specifically about ChatGPT. What happens is you put your information inside of the language model. You put your facts, or you put your whatever information, you put it inside. What it does, it will train the AI on your information. So that means you're putting clients' information, if you're inputting clients' information, you're putting their confidential information into the hands of a third party that you have no control over. So you need to be really careful with that. So what I recommend, there are language models, LLMs, that actually does not train on your materials. There's other tools like Notebook LM. If you guys want to play around with something that's a closed universe, Notebook LM is amazing. You can put up to 50 sources in. That's either PDF, documents, books. You can put in web links. You can put in all this information. You can put in your training manuals, your policies, your procedures. You can use it for a case. If you're a litigator, you can take a case and you can put all your case documents and files into it. It's not shared. It stays private, and it will perform the task that you can perform with ChatGPT or any other LLM. So it's a really amazing tool. And there's another one, Perplexity, which is its competition, but Notebook LM is a Google product, and it is incredible. I love that tool. Also, California does have a couple rules that address AI indirectly. That's Rule 5.1 and 5.3. As an attorney, as a managing partner or a managing or supervising attorney, you have a duty to manage your staff. And AI essentially is your staff. And also, you have a duty to make reasonable efforts to ensure that the firm has measures in place to make sure everyone is complying with the rules of professional conduct. And similar to the one about non-lawyer assistant, it's the same obligation. So our primary obligations that we have about confidentiality, about supervising work, about having the knowledge, skill, competency allowed, they'll still apply to AI. So if you keep those in mind when you're using these tools, you'll be okay. Don't get lazy, don't get sucked into the ease of use and the click of the button. All right, so best practices when you're actually using this. One of them, never input confidential information. Even when I use something like, let me take a step back. There are models that is closed universe, and you can look in their privacy policy, their privacy procedures, privacy procedures. When you look at their policies, they will tell you whether they will trade on your material, whether they don't trade on your material. All right, so I always make a practice not to put confidential information in here. I make up names, I change cities, or I change different facts. I make some tweaks, and you can just do that for find and replace. I'm the find and replace king, so I can just redact the document really quick. Always verify AI generated content. Hallucinations still happen. I had, maybe a couple months ago, I was playing around with it, I was using it for something, and it came up with 3 cases that they were so on point. I'm like, yes, this is a slam dunk, I got them. when I took those cases and I actually read the cases, they had nothing to do with what it told me it said. So you gotta be really careful with that. You wanna check your sources. Past week or two I've used it and I've seen they were right on point. Cases came right up and it was the right case and it was the right hope. So these tools have come a long ways. So no matter what you heard, they're evolving. And it's happening so fast because they're using AI to train AI to train AI. And it just grows exponential. So double check your case sites. I found it to be very accurate on case sites, but so far as case holdings and cases, that was a little iffy. It's a lot better now. Document your use. They have a tab on here for those of you who have not used the tool. They have tabs where it has on the side, your searches. Name it. There's a way you can name your search. Go in, change the name of it, because it's going to give you probably the first line of your search. Just rename it. Keep it, I would save them. You can even download them. And inform your clients where appropriate. So some jurisdictions have, I'm just dealing with California, but I do want to touch on this. Some jurisdictions do have mandates about AI use. Some of the jurisdictions in California I'm assuming California is going to get there too. If you're using AI, they're going to have you put that inside of your retainer agreement. So that's going to be something I'm assuming that's going to come, that you're going to have to include that this office used AI to generate legal documents or something. So there's some language. There are multiple states that require that right now. I would inform your clients, let them know that you use it. It's probably not a bad idea just to throw it in your agreement right now and use it. This office does use AI to generate documents, and if you don't know exactly what term to use, ask AI, it'll come up with a perfect phrase for you. Again, I talked about the privacy policies of AI platform. Always look at them, know which ones are actually training on your materials and which of them are not. And take time just to play around with them. These are like the most popular tools. I'm sure you all heard of these. ChatGPT, Claude, Notebook LM, which I mentioned, Copilot, and Gemini. I wanted to make a special mention to Copilot and Gemini. Copilot and Apple Intelligence. So, Copilot. Now she wants to talk. I'm gonna break up with her. My wife and kids always like, that's your best friend, but I'll bring it out and I'll talk in and they'll be like, we're so tired of you and AI. I wanted to mention Apple Intelligence and Copilot because if you haven't been following tech lately, these are being integrated into your computers, into the actual computer themselves. I'm about to switch over to Apple because I think Apple Intelligence is amazing about what it does. But essentially, with the Apple Intelligence, Apple will not share your information. The information remains on your system, on your desktop. It's not going to Apple. Apple does not have access to your information. So it will remain confidential. You put this information, anything that you do on your laptop. I saw the example they did the video for the Apple. The guy will say, hey Siri, can you tell me what time I need to leave home to pick up my mom from the airport? And what Siri did, Siri went to his email and found an email to him and his mom and then it found what flight she was on. And it went and calculated the traffic conditions, and it said you need to leave at 4:32 to make sure you pick her up on time at the San Francisco airport or whatever it was. So it will search all your information on your computer.
We delete it.
That I don't know. That I can't answer. But I'm assuming that that information is still on your system. It doesn't just, I hope everybody knows that when you delete stuff, it doesn't really delete. Eventually it will be off, but it doesn't just delete. But I don't know the answer to that one. I would have to do a little more research on that one. But I'm excited about the product and what it can do, because the future of AI, and I'll just talk briefly about it now, the future of AI is that right now we have been used to using AI. We've used these tools. We've used Siri. We've played around with Alexa. We've done all that stuff. So, right now we've had to turn on the lights. Pretty soon you're going to say, actually you can't do it now. You can say, hey, whatever your tool is, find me the cheapest flight to Hong Kong on Tuesday the 13th and book it for me. Your credit card information will be saved in your computer. It will go find the cheapest flight and it'll book your flight for you.
That's kind of scary.
You can do that right now today. So it's getting to the point now when they start integrating with these Tesla robots and these other things. Elon Musk said he's going to put multiple ones in every home. Every home is going to have a Tesla robot. I don't know if you guys see those things. They look a little scary. Very iRobot, very Will Smith. I'm running from robots. But they are in the Tesla stores. And you can go touch them, mess around with them. But they have a very soft touch. They can do this. They can do this. They can lift on your table. You can have an apple, you can have some grapes, you can have some lettuce, you can have some lasagna or whatever. And you can ask it, what meal can I make with that? And it'll tell you what you can, and you can ask it to make it for you. I've seen it use tools, use knives. Very soft touch. I'm amazed at how far it's come. So when they start integrating these things and the prices come, I think they're expecting to be about $25,000, but he wants the price to come way down. When these things start getting into the marketplace, they'll be able to go cut your lawn and all the tasks that you don't want to do, you can have it do that. Copilot is similar to Apple Intelligence, but it's Microsoft's version. And now they have Copilot computers. You can actually buy them now. They've been out for a couple months now. And it does the same thing. The problem is it goes to Apple, it goes to Microsoft. So your information, when it uses the intelligence, it's using their servers. So it's back and forth. So be careful of the privacy part of that it may be confidential information on your computer that Microsoft may have access to. And we know they sell our information, so that's what they call money, they sell our information. Apple Intelligence does have the option that if it's something it can't do and it needs to use a tool like ChatGPT, it will ask you if you want to now leave your closed system and go get that information from that system. So these are like some practical applications that you can get now. The new Apple Intelligence computers are out. Features are not fully functioning right now. Some of them work, but the Copilots are out and running. So you can go and check those tools out. All right, so how many of you guys enjoy prompting? I don't. How many of you spend a lot of time prompting when you're actually reading these tools? Or it's just like a quick search? Yeah. So prompting, I'm going to be real basic. Prompting is essentially the instructions that you give to your large language model, your LLM. It's what you give, and it gives you an output. Okay. Garbage in, garbage out. The better your prompt, the better the results. The more accurate your prompt, the more accurate your results. Actually, let me hang on a second. All right, so prompting is the instruction. So talk a little bit about this prompt that I did right here. So this is a prompt for a document analysis. What you do is you would input something like this, and I'm gonna break down the prompt. Everything you quote is the actual prompt. When I started, I was doing very simple. Draft me a lease agreement. Draft me this. Draft me blah, blah, blah. This is how you get to the prompts. First of all, you identify it's called a persona. The first thing, you are an experienced contractor. You define who you are. You got to give it the role. You got to put it into this certain mindset. Okay, I'm a contract attorney. That's what I'm doing now. I'm not just this huge language model that's going to give you a bunch of crap. So the quality starts off with a quality prompt. Identify the persona. You are an experienced contract attorney with expertise in California commercial lease agreement. I even got to narrow down to what type of expert you are. You are an expert in commercial lease agreements. Please analyze this commercial lease agreement for a retail space in San Francisco, focusing on, and these are the things, you break them down. I want to look at terms that disadvantage my tenant, missing or inadequate protections common to post-COVID retail leases, compliance with California commercial tenants, force majeure and business interruption provisions, assignments, subletting, common area maintenance and calculations.
Michael, sorry. Can you use the microphone for the people? Thank you.
I didn't know.
Thank you.
Okay. And I'm going to break down the prompt a little bit later, but this is a good prompt. Present your analysis in a structured format. Now you're telling what you want it to do. You're telling it to analyze this. You're telling it to focus on these things. And now you're telling it to present your analysis in a structured format with specific recommendations for negotiating points. Very specific, very pinpoint. But I've done 3-page prompts. I literally have drafted prompts that are like 3 pages long. You can imagine the level of detail you get or the focus that you get with that. And this is one of the ways you can eliminate some of the hallucinations also. So actually, I will show you this prompt in action. Do I have am I working now?
I think so.
Oh, you know what? Did you have the Wi-Fi password?
Yeah. But
How
again,
you make the screen, there it is. Yeah, I'm gonna need the Wi-Fi password.
okay. It's
This one.
The message.
Is there anyone in the room that does not have a ChatGPT account? I'm going to back up one step. I said this is for beginners. So when you sign up for ChatGPT, you go to OpenAI, I think .ai, and I have all the links, all this stuff. And you can set up an account. And there are 2 types of accounts. Well, yeah, there's 2 types of accounts. There are 3 types of accounts. One, there is a free version that everybody can use. You can just sign on and but you will reach the end of the internet at some point if you use it a lot. It will cap out, and you're getting tokens. And tokens are like number of characters that you get. And then there's a paid version, and it's $20 a month right now. All the LLMs are $20 a month. That I would never recommend it to free account unless you're testing to see which one you want to use. I have a subscription to all of them because I use all of them, and I verify using the check, double check each other. I'll check the results of one, I'll check the results of the other. And if I have time, I'll talk about the differences between which ones are better and what later on. But it's $20. And then there's an enterprise version for larger firms that you get even more tokens. With the $20 version, I have not reached the end of the internet, and I'm on it every day. And it just means how much information, how many characters you can put in and out. It counts the combined when we're talking about your tokens. Like a ChatGPT prompt. For the basic model, there's different models of it, but for like ChatGPT 40, I think you get about 12, it's got the number of tokens, I think it's 120,000 tokens, but it comes out to about 12 pages of input on a single prompt. That's why I don't know if you put the prompts in and they kind of give you like a limited thing, you may cap it out a little bit, but you can put about 12 pages of information. That's if it's a full page, 12-point font, about 12 pages of information. Something like Notebooks LM, you can put in 500-page documents. And that's on the $20 model. Actually, it's free. LM is free. All right, so I want to show you these things in action. So when you log on, you can just use like your Google or your Apple account or whatever you have in when you want to sign up. You can put your email in, sign up for the account, and just, like I said, I think the $20 is worth it because you get way more searches, you get more features. So it's kind of worth it right now. I hope they don't do the bait and switch and get us all hooked on it and then say, hey, guess what? This is $10,000 a day. Okay, so quick tip. When you're doing your prompts, I would get a cheat sheet or an Excel sheet or some tool that you have, notes or whatever, and I would start saving your most popular prompts on a sheet that you can just cut and paste. Also with these bottles, you can input your information, your personal information, and you can put custom instructions. Hey, Chad. Hey, Chad. She's still not working. She knows me, she knows my kids, she knows my wife, she knows my law firm, she knows my address, and when I need something done, it'll be custom to me because I've input certain information into my chat. And what I was trying to do, there's ChatGPT 40 has a version that you can pick the voice, and it will actually. It's good. Chat, where are you there? Chat, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. What's up?
What's my wife's name?
Great to hear. What's on your mind today?
Okay, she's not working today. Too bad I can't turn it off. You know what? It's my cell phone connection. Yeah. User error, I have 0.1 bar. And it's on my, you know what? Can you put this on? Okay. Switch on my key.
I don't know if it's like the,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, I don't know. I was trying to.
That's weird. It's controlling this,
Yeah.
but it's not controlling that. This was my greatest fear. This guy was terrified of doing this live. Put everything on slides and just talk about the slides and the inputs and outputs, but I actually want to show you how to use it. And I want to show you who's familiar with ChatGPT with Canvas.
With what?
Yeah, ChatGPT with Canvas. It's Christmas. I love Christmas. So one of the problems with LLMs, well, not one of the problems, but one of the limitations is that when you do a search, it gives you your output. And it's there, and you can copy it and put it in another document, but it's basically what you have on your screen. It's limited to that screen. What they have done is they've incorporated essentially a co-partnership drafting, a co-drafter with you. So it opens up another screen in ChatGPT that has your documents, and you can actually edit it directly in the prompt itself, that prompt output. In addition to that, you can edit it paragraph by paragraph. There's options to either, there's multiple options on ChatGPT with Canvas. The first option is to extend or shorten your document. You click the button, there's a sliding scale. Whatever the output was that it gave you, you can take it, slide it down, it'll shorten your document. You take it, you slide it up, it makes your document longer. The next button is the reading level. You take it, click it, you can go down to kindergarten level, you can go up to PhD level. Then it also has the other tool on there is there's a finishing tool that once you have it, you're ready to have it put the final touches and check your grammar and check everything, you hit the finishing button and boom, it starts just right in front of you. It does it live time right there, fixes. You can do headers. You can change headers, you can do bolds, you can do all your editing directly into ChatGPT now. And then when you copy and paste it into your document, you don't have to spend time in Word editing the document. So it brings everything over. It's made for drafting, particularly for drafting. Another tool I like to use is Claude. And it's by Anthropic. Claude is a really good tool. It's a better drafter than ChatGPT. So if you need like writing done, I would suggest using Claude, that's C-L-A-U-D-E. And the model you want to use for drafting is Opus. And Opus is the one.
So you have to put these into your computer, right?
Or you go in your browser. It's just a browser. You can just go on the browser and just open it up in your browser.
Do a handout on all this stuff?
I submitted everything to them.
We can.
They want me to give,
Just send
yeah.
the slides to all the participants. Yeah.
And I even made it easy. My links have just click on the button and it'll take you to the site. So I do have that on here. Oh yeah, and there's apps for everything. So if you want to use these tools on your phones, I have a ChatGPT app, I have a Claude app, I have them on my iPad, I have them here. Or you can log into your browser and use it on your browser.
Is there an app for that too?
For which one?
For Apple Intelligence?
Apple Intelligence is the new Siri. It's just Siri. If you have the old Siri,
I mean, I have Apple. So
Okay.
I might read it.
if you've done your own, if there's an update, 18.1 that came out last Monday,
Yes.
that should have given you Apple Intelligence, but it's very limited. You have to be in the beta. The beta is 18.2, version 18.2 of the app. Just, look up Apple Intelligence and go to YouTube and just take a look at what it can do. It's going to blow your mind.
Are you using any of the programs or whatever they're called? Like if you have a document, I don't know, some sort of, let's just say an employee handbook, and then do you load that in and say update it? Or
I'm sorry.
like on any like ChatGPT or any of those things? Are you using it to create documents from like a current document and you upload it and you say, tell me all the new little parts that need to be updated?
Yes, I do.
How do you
Both.
how do you stick a document into ChatGPT?
That's what I was trying to show you. Well, there's a button. There's a little, the little paper clip. Okay.
Like an attachment, upload.
Yeah, it's like a little attachment that you see on email, like a little paper clip attachment. You just click on the attachment, and then it'll open up the screen, open document. You just go through this like you normally do when you're attaching to an email. It's exactly the same process, just like you're attaching to an email. And you can put multiple documents in. You can select them and put multiple documents in.
So you scan it like a PDF, take it to your computer, go there, attach, click, go.
Yep. The thing about your PDF stuff, you're gonna have to make sure it is a OSC, that you can read the text, that it's editable or reading text, and you can do that in Adobe. I think I just saw a feature on it, but I haven't played with it where you can do it now in ChatGPT. I think that there's settings in ChatGPT that gives you more, it expands everything you do, and they're doing it so fast that I can't even, I watch this stuff, YouTube, I play with it, I'm taking classes, and the class I just took at UC Berkeley is completely outdated. And it was from the beginning of the year, completely outdated, because everything is different. I want my money back. But they're updating so fast, like the advancements is like, it's mind-blowing. And each tool does certain things really well. Like Notebook LLM, the reason why I like Notebook LLM, because in addition to letting you put PDFs and documents into it, there's a link or like little paper clips for emails and click, add documents, I can go up to 50. And also has another thing that has a web thing on it, you click, you can pick whatever website you want. So not only can you do up to 50, a combination of 50 documents, and can copy paste. You can copy and paste it into the, okay, look like the animation. So it lets you put all this information in, and it will scrub the website for that information for you. And I'm going to show you an example of that. It's like mind blowing. You don't have to start. I'm just telling you. Okay, so, oh, I'm not sure what I'm writing. That's why I close everything out. Yeah. If you guys see any of my client information, close your eyes and act like you didn't see anything, because I did want to show you how I actually use these tools.
People do it. I didn't do it any extra fun. I only just gave me that word stuff. I'm like, I could not. I'm sure there's a way to do it in a picture, I just don't know how to do it yet. Great picture from it. Yeah, I was really,
All right, so let me get out of this.
yeah, this is really interesting, like you telling them that they're a contract right here. Yeah. What's the, you know, you're supposed to true stable. Yeah, yes, I have done that. But I didn't really, I supposed to tell them, I'm so not.
All right, so when I was telling you how you just save your prompts, Okay, so they must have been pressing the buttons, but hope my prompt
It's my contract.
don't look good.
Something in this
Okay,
that has these terms. Interesting.
all right, so here's the problem what I'm talking about.
It's in the public area.
So what I'm asking right here, this is the first prompt. You are in-house counsel at a cybersecurity company. Please access and review the following websites for updates in cybersecurity industry. Then I listed the websites, the name of the site, and then I did the URLs for each website. Then I gave the instructions. Based on your review, summarize the top 5 events in cybersecurity industry. Focus on the updates that may impact or relate to asset management, asset discovery, protective DNS, suspicious domains, cyber, bunch of that stuff, all right? And then please cite your sources.
Please cite your sources.
All right, now I'm going to my tool, ChatGPT. There it is right here. So this is, right here, you see the little attachment? That's how you attach documents. You just click on there. You can go from Google Drive, Microsoft OneDrive, or you can go directly from your computer. You just attach a document like you would an email.
When you attach it, what happens? Is it now, is the document remembered? When you attach it?
Yeah, you just click it, like I can click here, upload a document. And let's go into the folder for this presentation. All right, I want this document here. Then I can give it a prompt. So this was a document from one of my classes, and that it just tells you what information it has on it. But I can interact with this document using ChatGPT. I can ask it specific questions. I can have it, I'll show you in a second. You need to get to this other one here. I'm jumping, I want to show you. So to do the new search, just hit GPT. When I was talking about there's different versions, you click here, here are your versions. ChatGPT 40 is the base, the fast model. That's the one, the new current one. With Canvas, that's the one I want to show you about. I love that one. Preview is the super fast one, and it's the one, actually it's the one that does a deeper dive, and you only get so many uses of that one. They're testing it right now. So I would stick to 40 or 40 with Canvas. So that prompt that I just had, that I had listed about being an in-house counsel at a cybersecurity company, and I listed these websites. Again, what it's going to do, it's going to access these websites and review the following. It's going to access and review all this information on these websites, and then it's going to summarize the top 5 events in the cybersecurity industry. I couldn't do this a week ago with ChatGPT. Now what it did, it went through, this is my prompt at the top right here. This was my prompt that I copy and paste. I can edit it directly here if I want to change it or add. I didn't like what the output was. I can just hit the little edit and I can change it and hit the button and it'll run this again. Okay, so this is my output. And remember my instructions was, based on your review, summarize the top 5 events in cybersecurity industry. And I want you to focus on the updates that may impact or relate to asset management, asset discovery, blah, blah, blah. Here's the top 5. And look right here. Now you can immediately check your source. When I was talking about hallucinations and verifying and checking, now I can go click on the website, and I can verify that that information was accurate. And it did everything. It broke down, the article broke down the key developments, and he did all 5. You know what? I'm going to change this.
Yeah, we really can't read the screen, it's just, the writing is too small.
Is it?
They must slow down.
Here. That's probably good. I think I have to keep it within reason. Is that any better? It was.
Yeah, close the citation screen.
Yeah, I don't know. Can you guys make the projector bigger? Widen it on the screen. There should be a little slider on there.
Did you ever do that same search with perplexity that doesn't have hallucinations? It just scrapes the web, it doesn't generate new information.
Good point. I mentioned Notebook LM and Perplexity. Perplexity don't have hallucinations. So it really, truly, it will scrub the websites to get the information. So it's not going to just make things up. A lot of people love Perplexity. I haven't spent as much time on it yet. I'm still caught up in all these other tools. But I don't know, can you guys see that at all? Yeah. It's
Close the citation.
Got it, my bad. So it puts the citations to the right when you do the search, but it will also give you the link to the citation within the document itself. Right in there. So it's citing this website, NIST. You click on there, you can go there and verify that this information is accurate. You can do this with cases. I've done it with cases. I will ask it to cite the cases. Then when it gives me the link to the case, I will go and read the case. So now I don't have to use a bunch of tools, do a bunch of back and forth.
So does it have, for example, the bankruptcy code, the entire bankruptcy code, so you can get the cases?
Absolutely.
And the federal cases too?
And if it doesn't have it, you can just take it and you can, it will tell you, I've had it on federal cases, I've had it tell me that it's gonna need a PACER account on some of them, but there will be a lot of federal cases that will come up. All right, so that's one. I just want to show you how it can analyze websites. Oh, you know what? I'll put it in the table. That's good. I usually do a more detailed prompt. I'll say, put it in a table, give me these headers, and place it in a table. So, look what it just did. I asked you to put it in a table, it automatically did that for you. And the more instructions you give, the more, it can do pie charts, it can do graphs, it can do any output. For you probate attorneys, this is specifically for, near and dear to my heart, the probate guys here. So I went on the web and found some bank statements. And I had to redact them and fool around with it and play with it, but I found some bank statements and just wanted to see what it can do with bank statements. For us probate attorneys, we have to do accountings. We have to summarize the account, and the bane of my existence is reading through 5 years of bank statements. Again, that was a simple problem. I put in 2 different bank statements, one from BB&T Bank And I just asked it to summarize the statements. So it gave me, I can just interact with it.
What you asked it to do, can you share it?
I don't know, I haven't tried that yet.
I'm excited.
It's something like that.
I don't have to open these bank accounts. It's giving me this information right up. I can have it, what did I do the other day? I had it, give me, what did I do? I did a, so the way must be the internet because it's ChatGPT is not this slow, it's like fast. So what I was playing with it the other day with accounting. I had to put everything in categories.
You're right, the internet's not saying, I'm looking at my phone and somebody got one bar. So that's what the problem is. It's swing.
Okay, so this is what happens when there's a timeout, but it will put information in a category. It will put it in a table, it will put it in a chart. I can say summarize all the, I do it, tell me. Still thinking. I had to keep breaking the categories down, each transaction. Give me a category of all the transactions, break down all the checks, separate the checks, and give me the checks, the amounts, summarize, like, I was giving it all kind of instructions and it was doing it. Then I was like, put it in the table. Then put it in the table. But give it headers. Tell it what categories you want in the header. All right, so this right here, I'm excited about where it's going for probate attorneys or people who deal with numbers and have to deal with large sums of accounts and transactions. People that do financial work or have to do a lot of going through these statements. This is going to help you so much. And it will give you any output. It's only limited by what you can ask it to do.
In that vein, have you ever used the LLMs to improve the prompts that you've written?
Yes.
Yeah, because that was one of the pieces of advice I got.
So what I do is when I come up with a prompt, there's two different ways that I do it. One, I'll give it a prompt, and then once it gives me, I'll ask it to write me a better prompt. I'll give it the prompt, put it in, I say, write me a better prompt. I also have done this, and this is like next level, I don't really want to get into this, but this is good prompting. When you put a prompt in that says, I want you to generate, X, Y, Z. I want you to do these tasks. And to do these tasks better, oh, no, I'm sorry. I'll say, when I enter a prompt, when I ask a question or enter a prompt, ask me a question or 2 to 3 follow-up questions to make it better. Or ask me, give me what information will you need. I would ask you what information do you need to make a better prompt. That's part of my prompt. I gotta sit down, think it out, I'll write up the prompt, and I'll ask it to give me the information to make it better. And it will ask me a follow-up question. You can say, give me ask me questions back. I'm saying this all on, but essentially, I should show you.
Fine. It's like, ask me any clarifying questions.
Yes.
That would help you follow the task or complete the task.
That's exactly it. I get really detailed with it because I'll have it do multiples. Or I will have it give me an option. So another one I do, I say every time I give you a prompt, give me 2 options of better prompts. I don't know if anybody's tried that one. That's beautiful. I love that one. So every time, and then it will ask you, do you want to accept these prompts or which prompt do you want to accept? You can click on here. So that's a good one if you're having problems prompting. Just say, when I enter a prompt, suggest 2 better prompts. So it'll do the work for you. And once you get a prompt out, you can actually just take it and put it in and say, improve it. It's really simple. Use AI to improve AI.
You're using the keyboard, but is there a voice-activated access to the?
Absolutely.
Just dictate, right?
ChatGPT 40 is voice-activated. Actually, Copilot is voice-activated. So most of these tools are voice-activated, and you can control the voice. The only problem when you're using a voice, you have to start off with, you have to do a new prompt. With ChatGPT, you have to do a new prompt, you have to just stay in that prompt. All right, hang on. I want to show you the one first. Okay, here's one for another contract analysis. Okay, the one I was talking about, the commercial retail space. So this is the prompt. You are an experienced contract attorney with expertise. This is one that was on the slide. Now I'm finally back to the slides. You are an experienced contract attorney with expertise in California commercial lease agreements. Please analyze the commercial lease for a retail space in San Francisco, focusing on the terms that could disadvantage my tenant client, missing or inadequate protections common in post-COVID retail leases, compliance with California commercial, this one right here. Okay. Well, anyway, these are the instructions I gave. I then I found a commercial lease online. And I'm gonna show you again. So you click on it. I went in here. I clicked on this lease, and this is a generic one. You guys see, it's just something I got off the web. So I've attached it right here. I gave it instructions. Now, I gave it essentially these things that I wanted to do. I wanted to check for these things, do this type of analysis. The first one, it talks about the terms that could disadvantage the tenants is one of the things I want to know about. And then it gave me a couple provisions, as is condition. The lease specifies the tenant accepts the premises and as is condition, section 2.2, lease, and see how it's green, the lease and property management? I can click on that takes me back to the lease. That's the hyperlink to the lease. That's how you check and go back and verify it. This can expose the tenant to unforeseen maintenance and repair expenses. Then it gives you a recommendation. The next term, same thing.
What about if you need authority to your position that you want to amend it?
I always ask my tools for authority. Just ask it. You just ask it. I do it all the
You
time.
can get case law on those subjects.
It will give case law.
Michael, on that same question, like if you have this and then you wanted the authority and you didn't ask for it, is there a way to run a separate ask on top of it to like fluff it out?
You said you wanted the authority to add the authority?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can always, I can add to this. I still can use this. I still can use this. Or I can still just copy and paste additional information, whatever I want. And then I just do whatever I
So
want.
just give us an example where you're looking for authority for the amendment to the lease, for example.
Okay. Or they give me authority for the amendments, at least?
Yeah.
So we're done. Okay. It does. Oh, but I forgot to say, I forgot to ask you to give me the site to it. So I can't ask it.
It's just, look, it's just giving.
Yeah, it'll give you the source at the bottom, and you can click on that. But when I ask you specifically to give me the sites, it will add the site after each case.
Okay. Actually, let's check. That's what you need.
With a hyperlink, you mean?
Can you get the PDF of the case? Page one, for example.
Pieces.
Can you run it? I'm sorry, what did you say?
I want a PDF from one of those sites,
Case sites.
so I don't have to go to the library.
You can,
Can you tell us how to make hallucinations?
Yeah, you can ask. I don't know.
there are ways you can prompt to ask it to verify the information and double check. Be conscious of hallucinations, avoid any kind of hallucination, avoid making up
Don't make up the law.
information that not scientific.
That's made up.
How do you get hyperlinks?
Yeah, this is not accurate.
It should have given a hyperlink. Let me ask it again.
Pieces and no, these are just pieces of people.
So,
Up front, yeah.
Michael? Can you?
Here it is.
Wow.
Just ask it.
Okay.
I just asked you for hyperlinks for the cases.
Can you put the link for us? Please.
Let's go to this first one.
Yeah, let's do it.
Make up that link too. Because in that like it's really judge should have had
Yeah, it's just,
actual.
it looks like it's not hyperlink. Doesn't I have got it to,
Okay, but
yesterday it was hyperlink.
Each makes one. If you highlight it, we'll get the
Yeah, if you highlight certain keywords.
Yeah, you probably have to do an extra step. Sometimes, this thing is not perfect yet. So yesterday I was doing the exact same thing, asking it to cite the cases and provide me links. I was able to click into the links and it was taking me directly to the cases. And what it did, it got it from everywhere. It was going to case text, it was going to OYA, it was going to various sites, like it was finding various places to where it got the case from. So I was just doing it just yesterday. So it's still a little finicky. It's not perfect.
Is there the next step of being able to say, okay, you've got links with, which is a 63 case, can you shepherdize off of this?
Well, shepherdize, I don't know if that's a term of art for Westlaw, but I'm sure.
Oh, no, Shepherds goes way back before Westlaw.
I'm sure you probably can. I haven't tried shepardizing. I actually just go back and read the case. I do it the old-fashioned way, and I still have Westlaw, so I still
You
use
just see if it's
Westlaw.
overruling. Yeah, it's not a read the case thing. It's like, I think we're just speaking a different language that we speak. He doesn't know what you mean, but shepherdize.
Okay, so here's one.
Yeah,
So what I did,
yeah.
I went and got the local counsel, talked about the county.
Still got to do that. You still got to do that.
Well, we throw it on the Westlaw.
And I was just having a conversation with Doug outside, and I wanted to know,
Wait, shepherds used to be, it was the red books. They were the red books, right? You know, like the shepherds are the red books.
Well, they had yellow and red.
Yeah, The other one.
That's cool.
So the kid was like, constantly giving another question. Gets your authority or whatever. The other thing was like, what is it? Okay. They tell you. That is so funny.
Get ready for.
That is not too far away. What is CD? Yeah.
We actually have a jukebox in the office. We put the files loaded and also the motion. So. That's because.
Yeah, I had a couple of those.
So, in the local rules of Contra Costa County, this is taken directly from the local rules. I attached the local rules, and I just asked it specifically about what attorneys would, probate attorneys combine, charge, and conservatorships. And it gave me this. This is information is direct, is that right, Doug?
But I will say, they're guidelines.
They're guidelines. They're
And
guidelines.
that's the fine print is, right here. I just looked at this the other day, and that's guidelines, it's not the rule.
So you can ask it other questions. You can ask it about,
Higher hourly rates can be approved by demonstrating good cause.
Thank you all for calling out. It's an argument I'm making.
Yeah, we know that guy, he's worth it.
Seems like a good certified specialist, you could hire that. It's just like the age.
So there was this boy on my son's water polo team, his name was Brady. And so the coach was kind of making up nicknames, and he says, "Hey, Brady Bunch." And the guy was just like, "What?" And I'm like, "You know, Brady Bunch is?"
family law attorneys, do you have any family law attorneys?
Yeah.
Any family law attorneys here? No? Well, I did that for no reason.
We don't let him.
I basically asked you what's the, how many days notice do I need to give to file an ex parte petition in family law? And it just came back 24 hours before submitting the application. I could ask more detailed questions about what time do I need to submit it or whatever. And all it is doing is referring to the local rules that I attached. So any document you attach, you can do this. I've taken pleadings from motions that I've received from other attorneys. I put it in ChatGPT and I gave it specific instructions to review this pleading, verify the sources. I've asked it to give me on a scale of 1 to 10 how strong are each, I asked for the arguments and I asked on a scale of 1 to 10 how strong are each argument, and it'll give me information. It will actually process that.
Do you ever ask it to do, like, do a set of written interrogatories for you or things like that?
I'm gonna put my head down so yes. What I did, I was going on vacation 3 weeks ago, and I was gonna wait till I got back to get something out. This attorney really pissed me off, so I really wanted to get it. Did I say that line? So I wanted to make sure he had something to work on while I was on vacation. So I put my pleadings in, I put his responses in, and I asked him to draft me a set of first requests for admissions, special interrogatories, requests for production documents. It did it all. Now, what I was talking about before, I didn't have to go back and I spent more time going through, checking, tweaking it, than I spent asking, it was like that, it instantly kicked out interrogatory. I actually did the other way. When I got propounded with some stuff, I put it in.
Get out.
It draft objections. It was accurate. I just did a set last week. I'm serious. I just did a set last week. It was accurate. It was accurate.
So you could put fast case into the system, and you can get citations back with the actual.
With fast case, I don't know if you can link them to, I don't think you can link them to another paid account. So if you have a paid fast case account or Westlaw account, you can't use one of these LLMs to, they still haven't done that step yet.
So it sounds like your method would be to take the documents that you do have, take the notes that you have, take the witness interviews that you have, put them into your LM, and then use that as the basis for responding to discovery.
Absolutely. And the best tool that I used with that one was Notebook LM. I really like Notebook LM because, again, Notebook LM is a closed universe that no third party has access to it. It's not shared. You're not trained on it. They don't train on it.
So then you can also create a different notebook, a different universe for each case?
Yes.
Awesome.
Who manufactures
Notebook LM is by Google.
That's the.
It's Google's new product and it's free. And again, you can put tons of information in there. And if you run out of space to put information in, what you do, you just start copying and pasting and combining your documents. And you just put your whole entire library into Notebook LM. And you interact with it. It does the same thing as these two. You can ask the same questions. It's probably not going to do charts and graphs as well as ChatGPT. It's not going to do as well as that tool, but it will do a lot for litigators, litigation.
Okay, coming from one of the old probate guys in the room, you've done this, you put it in your prompts, and now you're creating a full probate code accounting in a half an hour. How much do you charge for it?
Okay, I was just talking to Mike Casey about that. He's out from home now, but what I think is going to happen is because it's so fast, I think what's going to eventually happen is we're going to have to go to a flat fee model. Because I did some discovery in a couple hours that would took me a whole week to do, and I literally did it in 2 or 3 hours.
So you're talking like a menu of services, if I propound discovery, it's this, if I respond, it's this, and you just bill by menu.
It's going to be up to your conscience, but right now I would...
Just I'm a lawyer.
Yeah, I would say, as an attorney, the higher your expertise is, the higher you can charge. And part of your expertise is not always you're drafting something or creating something, it's reviewing it and making sure it's right and tweaking it and getting the correct output. So there's value in your services and amount of time. Now, you've been doing it so long, and you can do it in a fraction of the time of a new attorney or someone with not experience. So there is a premium on that. So that's going to be a big ethical dilemma, is what do you charge for this stuff? Do you charge regular price, or do you a hybrid? Do you like that? I can't answer that for anyone, but you do have expertise, and you should be paid for your expertise. I'm not trying to eliminate our jobs. I'm trying to make our jobs easier. No, our practice is a small practice. It's only a couple attorneys and staff, and we're small now. And a lot of work I have to do on my own. This, discovery is the bane of my existence when I get a bunch of discovery. And I'm not a firm with a discovery associate. Here you go, and I used to have one. It was nice. But this one's about $150,000 per year cheaper.
Is there training for this notebook help?
Unfortunately, yes, there is. There's a couple. Corsica is a good place to go learn how to do things. They have some of the top people teaching the courses on Corsica. It's like the people who create, people from Google Labs are actually teaching Notebook LM. So the people who create the product, we have them do some of the trainings. And I think some of them are free, and some of them are like $50 a month. Be careful of those ones that charge you a lot of money. I wouldn't need that. And like I said, this stuff advances so fast. Be careful how old the material. If it's a year old, don't touch it. Don't touch it. If it's 6 months, it may not even be the most recent thing.
If you ask ChatGPT what the best programs are for the steps to learn about it,
I'm sure it's going to be biased. Go ahead and ask it. You can actually interact with the LLM itself and ask it, you can actually have a conversation with it a literal conversation with the voice version. You can put the voice version on, and you can have a back and forth interaction with it, which I've been trying to do, but I don't have bars. And it keeps a transcript of your conversation, so there is a record of your entire conversation. And you can have it train you on it. You can use this to, let's see. Let me see. I'm an attorney. I'm an attorney. I'm a law small.
I didn't know we did that. We do know that.
I want to automate it.
Discovery panels.
Actually, I want to leverage.
Did you download it?
Yeah, exactly.
So you can find out.
Well, we do that already, but we don't scour it through this thing. I mean, we can look at it.
So change what you need. Document requests, and it's just for the text that responds.
Yeah, that's what I
And
mean.
that way, the other stuff is.
That's like crazy.
So that's not it. So.
My associate says, maybe I'm too old, but that sounds sketchy. And mind you, she's like, she's like.
Tell your associate.
I didn't quick down and dirty. I asked him to do a training course for me, but I would have did a way better prompt. Prompting takes time. I don't just type like this typically. I think out my prompts. Sometimes I write it out on paper, but I think out my prompts what I wanted to ask it. So I just asked it to do a training course. So it gave me an outline. Once you get an outline, what you start doing when you have these outlines like this, you ask it to expand each section. Give more details to section 1. Add detail to section 2. So I'm asking it to help my firm with this ChatGPT thing. It says, here's your introduction. Let me explain what it can do. And let me say, expand. I can come back in and prompt it to give me a step-by-step guide on how to do these tools. So it's limited by your imagination.
What's been your experience with clients, the impact of this in your interaction with clients and their knowledge?
I can't recall the last time I actually drafted a client email. They talk to AI every day.
Get out.
I don't know. You serious? You guys really draft client email? I spend too much time. I have to think things out. So you can go into, well, I can't show you a live client email, but essentially, I can go into Google or Outlook, wherever you use. I copy the email. Well, actually, let me tell you this. And I'm not the biggest fan of Gemini right now, but you can do it in Gemini in the browser itself, but I'm not the biggest fan. I literally go into the email from the client. I will copy it. I will paste it into ChatGPT, and I will say, write a response, and I'll read through the email, and I may want to prompt it on what to say or what I want it to do, and it'll do it, and I can say, change the tone, be persuasive.
Be persuasive.
Be firm. Well, you know when a client tells you, like I had a client wanted to follow, he wanted to sue someone, he wanted to do his defamation case, and he thought his rights were violated. So I had ChatGPT do a legal memo, and then I turned the legal memo into a persuasive letter to a letter to my client explaining why you're really happy. What were the strengths and weaknesses of this case?
I keep joy in writing.
All right.
I need to copy this, you need to copy that, I need to copy this.
So I can just go. I think my coffee very sick.
Actually, I'll think that too. So.
It's a, you can do it.
I'll have that.
It's not
That's here. Over Greenwood.
All right. You guys know how to do how to space in ChatGPT prompt. It took me forever to learn how to do that. It took me like forever.
What do you say?
So when you want to space something in ChatGPT, what you do, like if I come in here and I want to put a space in the next line, you hold shift down and enter. That's how you start. I never tried spacing. All right, so what I would do, if this was a detailed email with a lot of things going on, I may have to give it some instructions on it. But I would say, I would have a prompt already saying, this is an email, please respond to our thing. I would have something like, Oliver's client, Oliver's opposing counsel, Oliver, remember I said that persona? You want to address who you're talking to.
Oliver's angry attorney. In the audience.
Who said that?
Oliver staring at angrily.
Oliver isn't staring angry at anyone.
Having the ChatGPT just like kind of do a lexical search, just kind of more Boolean, right? Or like in terms of Boolean search or Google or, but this is not that. This is all pretend to be a person.
There's my email. So Oliver's email to me was, dear Mike, great presentation. How would you respond to this with ChatGPT? Dear Oliver, thank you for your kind words about the presentations. I'm glad you found it engaging. ChatGPT can be an incredible, versatile tool for responding to various inquiries efficiently. But you know what? I don't like the tone of this.
Deceptive.
As a bro.
I'm aware that ChatGPT can respond in a range of ways, but perhaps I should clarify that it's a tool. I'm surprised to say like you. Not a magic wand. Now for you guys that don't know, Oliver's actually a magician, so now I'm a little nervous. I'm wondering if ChatGPT knows something because it said it's not a magic wand.
Yeah.
So I don't know what information it has access to, but I find that as a great coincidence that it's in.
But not
I think we've mentioned magic in our emails correspondences, but so that's how I do it. It's great to explain things to clients. It's great to respond to clients, opposing counsels. It saves a lot of time. If you see my email, I have thousands of emails, and it takes me forever to respond. So this is a great tool to use to do that. So if you're not doing that every day, if you're still doing this on your own, the old-fashioned way, you're so behind the times.
Now has a dictation.
I'm behind.
You talk right
Yeah,
there.
I just hope you guys are sticking around.
Because I used to-
Having technical difficulties. I really want to show you